Man, welcome to season 1, episode 7 of the Pull Up Podcast Show. Obviously, this is your boy, the main hostess with the mostest, it's your guy, the one and only Coach Tony. And tonight, we're going to talk from the opposite side of the ball. We've talked to agents, we've talked to coaches, we've talked to scouts, we've talked to trainers. But tonight, we're going to talk to the athlete. We're going to see what's in the athlete's mind about the recruiting process, about the going through the entire thing as they get an opportunity to make it to college before they play ball. But Val, before we talk about who we're going to bring out tonight, you know what to do. Drop it.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up.
Man. And welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your guy, the one and only Coach Tony. Make sure you like us. More importantly, you share this link and make sure whatever you do, you subscribe to the show. One of the hottest sports podcasts in the nation right now. We're growing by leaps and bounds. I want to thank you for tuning in. Tonight's show, we're going to be talking on the other side of the ball. This young man hails to us from Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, I'm in the middle of Tennessee in Nashville, Tennessee, as they say it. But my guy's coming in, been knowing him for quite some time, been loving his entire work ethic and what he's got. This kid is ranked in the class of 2026 coming out of Webb High School. His background, his work ethic is just phenomenal. But before we bring this young man on, we want to let you see what I'm talking about. Val, play that clip.
I was broken, I didn't have a dime, but I was always focused, I ain't waste no time, I ain't ever calling my name, I used to walk to work every day, me and my dog, like in and out, I came out alright, all the homies, we can move the same way, and I swear ain't nothing changed. Got a little bit of change in my pocket, but I maintain. We were young and in this world, chasing dreams and girls, running from our problems. I know that we older now, but that's what we were. Remember we were young and dumb.
Man, woo-wee. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have this kid on your list, you better write it down. Let's bring on to the show him and his pops, because I know, like they said, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Let's bring on my guys, Cam and Clarence Swearengen. What's going on, guys?
What's up, Steve? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. What's up, Noop? And by the way, for those that don't know, this is my one and only brother from another mother from the diamond in the sky, baby, from Kappa Alpha Psi, baby.
New pie.
Man, how you know? Cam, first of all, you know you're in trouble. We can talk basketball, but this is the ultimate goal, getting that diamond in the sky down the road. You know what I'm saying? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Just how about you?
Man, I'm wonderful, man. I just want to, first of all, thank you for taking time, stopping by, man, to Pull Up Podcast Show. I want to talk a little bit about your background and what you're doing, kind of give the people a little taste of, as they say, they think we're in football country, but I tell a lot of people, man, you'll be surprised of the basketball being played. We got a lot of people that are influxing now from the West Coast, from the Midwest, out East, and it's changing the way some of the game is being played just here in the South. So we can let the fans kind of know where you're coming from. Give us your background a little bit, Cam. Tell us where you're from, what high school you out of.
I'm here from Knoxville, Tennessee, born and raised here. I've lived here my whole life. Nothing's changed much for me. And I go to Webb High School, so I originally I went to Ballcamp Elementary, transferred Hardin Valley. Then I started going to Webb in 6th grade, and I've been there ever since. Never looked back.
Okay, so that's nice. Now, I know you are basketball, and that's become the main focus and everything. You were a two-sport player at first. You played what, football before basketball? You kind of played them together?
Yep.
Okay. And when you were playing football, what position were you playing at the football?
I was playing wide receiver, but my football dreams had to come to an end because I had 2 stress fractures in my back. So I had to pick and choose, and I decided to stick with basketball.
I personally, I think you picked and choose the right one, man. Just me personally, I'm ingenuous to this, but again, for the people that's listening, I talk about that quite a bit. And Cam, I'm glad you talked about that. I don't know if you know the reports, and Clarence, you've seen the reports, over the last 4 to 5 years since the pandemic. Cam, I don't know if you know that basketball is the #1 rising sport worldwide behind soccer. Did you know that? And the reason being is because of the injuries. Mainly it was concussions, and now other stuff like that. As he made that decision, Clarence, as a dad sitting there, because we definitely don't want our son to be hurt. We want to make sure we give them the best opportunity. How did that make you feel that he decided to choose to go into basketball instead of the football realm?
Well, basketball is definitely a little bit safer. It's a lot of physicality out there in football, man, and there's a lot of injuries. And so I am glad that he chose basketball. Basketball has definitely been a blessing for him. He has put in the work. And like I tell him all the time, as long as you continue to put in the work at whatever craft that you decide to choose, that good things are going to happen. But most importantly, he has God first in all that we do. And that's who we play for. That's who our whole family, that's who we live for. And that's why things are going the way they are in this life right now.
Man, that's you can't ask for better than that. I wouldn't ask for a better person to follow. And Cam, looking at that, you said you had Webb High School there in Knoxville, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you guys just came off a pretty solid season. How did the season go this year?
Season went amazing. We didn't go into the season with high expectations because we're a young team with 1 senior, 1 junior, and 6, 7 sophomores on the team playing major roles on the team. So the expectations weren't crazy high going into the season. But I feel like as we grew and as we matured as a team, we just decided to prove people wrong, and I feel like we made a statement this year knowing that we can come back next year and make some noise with our young team that we do have. But I think overall the season exceeded our expectations.
Oh, that's great. Now, coming from a wide receiver, that tells me you got pretty good hands, right? Right. So now you move on that basketball court. So what position are you playing right now on the team, Cam?
Right now I'm playing shooting guard, 2 guard. It's a little bit different, but I just decided to fit into whatever role helps my team win.
Okay. Clarence, I don't think he can outshoot us from back in the day, though, man. I don't know, man.
Well, I wasn't a shooter, Tony, until later on in my career. So I have to say my son probably could shoot better than I could back when I was 4,
Well, that's good. I mean, looking at that clip.
Right here, we worked on it a long time, man.
Right. You know how that go. And looking at that clip, Cam, I'm loving it, man. I like it that you find yourself. The game has changed, from that, and then that's even from you growing up and now growing into the game itself. What was one of the probably the more tougher teams that you guys have played this season?
Definitely Brentwood Academy. They're always a tough team to play, and they're gonna give you everything they got every game. And they have a really good player that's going to Vanderbilt next year, and it's just good competition. Love to play them.
Oh yeah, that's good. Now, how did you guys come out in that game?
Earlier in the season, we played them at home, and we won. And earlier in the season, we played them in the state semifinals, and we ended up losing, coming short. But I feel like we'll be back in the same position next to go win a state championship.
Man, that's great. I mean, especially with one senior, you guys are young, and I'm sure coach is going to probably put the horse on your back to carry that carriage next year. And I have no doubt that you got that, in you right now to do it. And it's been so young. So looking at, moving and transitioning away from football to basketball, what kind of physicality in terms of getting your body, changing? Because, when you're a football player, your preparation is one direction. Now you're a basketball player, become a little more agile. What kind of stuff are you doing to making sure that you're staying healthy?
So I work with Triple F, and they help me with everything. I lift 4 or 5 times a week, and I make sure with me putting that much stress on my body, I make sure to also get the proper recovery in. And they help me with that too. They help me with everything. At Triple F, we do a lot of our training consists of mobility work, agilities, plyometrics, speed work, sprints, a lot of sprints. And then before we leave, we get into the lift and get a good lift in, and we're out of there. And me doing that 4 or 5 times a week really helped my game last year, and I feel like it'll help me even more this year. But the real emphasis is on heavy recovery work, because I put a lot of work in, and I have to maintain the body of mine.
Oh, that's great. And Clarence, for some people that may not know on the Triple F side of the house, give us a little description between that and, say, a D1, because a lot of people are very familiar with who D1 is.
Well, Triple F is, like Cam was saying, they do a lot of recovery. They do a lot of weightlifting. They do a lot of speed and agility. But most importantly, it is a Christian-based program, man. We have Bible study, and that's really the main thing that really sold us, not only just what type of program it is, but the spiritually based aspect of that program and of Triple F is really what really sold us, man. Because not only are those kids getting top workouts, but they're also getting the spirituality part of it too, which is, in my opinion, the most important.
Oh, man, that's absolutely amazing. And Cam, when you're doing this, are they also introducing you to the healthy shakes and things of that nature, so making sure you're eating the proper foods and drinking the things of that nature?
Yes, they do. We have a nutritionist over there, so they help us make sure we're eating right. And you have plenty of coaches you can talk to that's probably work with athletes in your same situation. So it's plenty of resources over there.
Man, Clarence, I tell you, we needed this back in the day, man. We had that back then.
I tell Cam that all the time. I said, man, if we had, I didn't have a dad that, put me in the position like he's been put in the position, like to be successful. We kind of got it on our own. It was tough back in the 80s. We didn't have no gym. We played outside. Wasn't no shooting guns. Man, we just got out there and grind, played in the dirt, played on broken rims. But yeah, man. So these kids, he got it made, man. So all I asked him to do is just keep working hard, keep God first, and then we just gonna let things happen the way the way that they should happen.
Man, that's good. And then Cam, you mentioned something a moment ago, which is I want to point out to a lot of young kids. I always talk about the difference for the guys that want it and the guys that think they want it. The guys that think they want it are going to go to school, play ball, maybe work out a little bit. The guys that want it, most of these guys got a key to the gym. And if they don't have a key to the gym, they bug the coach enough that they are in the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning and all that. What's your regiment on a daily basis getting into school and working out before class or any of that nature?
So usually about 3 days out the week, because you can't overdo it. You still got to get your rest. And, you got to balance life. You got to balance a social life. You got to balance homework. And you still got to work in. So usually about 3 days out the week, just so I can keep my mind right, I get up at around 5:30 in the morning, and I get to school around 6, and I work out with one of my coaches. Somebody will be there. Sometimes I work out by myself, but I usually get in there about 3 times a week before school, go take a shower, go to school, learn, do all that. Then after school, I usually either shoot, I either work out, I put another workout in after school. Let's put it like that. Then that's basketball workout number 2 of the day. And I usually finish my day by going to Triple F and getting that work in. And then when I get home, your recovery starts right after your workout. So when I get home, I usually use the equipment I have at home to prepare my body for the next day so I can keep on going.
Man, that is great. Hey, we are sitting here on the Pull Up Podcast show with your boy, one and only Coach Tony. We're talking to my guy, Cam, and Clarence Swearengen. We're going to take a quick break at the end of the first quarter. Val, let's pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the KeySpot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAT. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. KeySpot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. KeySpot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast show. It's your guy, the one and only Coach Tony. We are sitting here talking to Cam. You just got a couple caps, man. Your boy Clarence Mayborn Jr. said, man, what's going on, baby? Any prospects coming up? We're going to get to that. So I'm loving what I'm hearing because, you know, Clarence, first of all, I want to congratulate you, man, because you put not only a good work ethic in the camp, but you've allowed him, because of the background, to kind of set that certain schedule to make sure he works into it. And Cam, I think one of the most important things you said a moment ago that a lot of these young cats don't pick up is balance. You know, a lot of the kids don't know how to balance. And when I say that, meaning that you got to balance. When you go away from web, you then become a student athlete. Most kids don't understand the word student, and they go to the next level thinking they're just going to be the athlete because they're going to be one and done. So looking at that and now adding in things like the AAU, you know, and all that, you're going to be playing this season, this summer on the EYBL with MoKan Elite, I heard, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's my boys down there. And for those that don't know, they out of St. Louis. Mo, for Chicago guys, you already know where East Saint's at, right down the street. So, you know, it's good. So what do you think about this summer? What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm honestly just trying to develop myself as much as possible. I want to turn myself into a very strong leader. So this upcoming, for my junior year, I'll be taking a class. They offered it. It's new this year. It's called Leadership in Practice. And they just teach you how to be a leader at school. And I just want to grow as a person, grow in my faith as well. And that's about it. I'm just looking to grow as much as possible.
That is wonderful. And, you know, and for those that's listening out tonight, you know, I get a lot of kids, and Clarence, I'm sure you're seeing this right now in Knoxville, some of the guys that don't want to even come from the east side of Knoxville to the west side of Knoxville or from one location to the next. But you guys in Knoxville, Tennessee, and MoKan Elite, where you're going to be working out of, is all the way in St. Louis, Missouri. So those that are listening, you're talking about the dedication and where this young man is trying to get to. Clarence, take us through the process of how that all came about and, you know, the opportunity to get out of Knoxville and to step Cam's game up into a national program like MoKan.
Yeah, so, man, we, you know, I don't know if you remember Kennedy Chandler, who played at the University of Tennessee a few years ago. His father and I are also frat brothers. He's another Newt. And, yeah, he reached out to us and asked us who we're going to play with this summer. And he said, hey, man, I think you ought to go to MoKan Elite. Let me connect you. So he connected us, told Cam about it. I said, hey, man, we're going to check out MoKan Elite. Let's see what this is all about. A great program out of Kansas City, Missouri. We went down and met Matt Suter, man, who is the director of their program. Cam out there, played well. They called us back and said, hey, man, we really like what we saw in your kid. And we'd like to have him as a part of our team. And that was the end of it right there, man. And, you know, now we are about to begin this new season. we played last summer with Team Thad, and just wasn't really a good match for us. So Mocan is a lot more organized, a lot better suited for his style of play. And so, yeah, man, we're excited about it. He's excited about it. We have our first official practice coming up this weekend. So, yeah, man, we're super glad. I'm super proud of him for the work that he's put in. This is just a reflection of the work that he's put in. And when you put that tough work in, you put that hard work in every day, this is what you reap. These are the benefits that you reap to be a part of an elite EYBL team.
Yeah, and Cam, Dad took the words out of my mouth. The reflection, it's a reflection of the hard work, which is real good. And something else, a lot of people may not know if you're listening to the podcast. We're on the Pull Up Podcast show with my guy Cam out of Webb School, Knoxville, Tennessee. You are right now top 5, top 10 in the class of 2026 right now. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's great to be there, but I try not to think too much about it.
Yeah, I got you. You don't post it. Let me and Dad think about that, because I think you need to go up higher than that. I'm gonna push you to make sure I'm making phone calls already. Like, look, man, y'all crazy. You need to put this kid up higher than that. You just go out and keep doing the work. We'll keep putting the work behind it. But the question that I want to ask for you, and I've had a couple people send me some questions tonight. Got a good audience looking at that. You are now in Bellis, coming from behind the pandemic, where we weren't able to play ball. So Clarence, Cam, when you was here, you end up getting bigger, and you get into your stuff you're doing. Now the NIL has pretty much dominated the scene, especially in the college sports. And for a lot of people that may or may not know, need to check your local stuff. Then, Cam, you're lucky as well, because here in the state of Tennessee, we've got the NIL for high schools. Obviously, I know a lot of the high school kids have not had the opportunity to take advantage of that. And me and Dad is working on that right now for you, right here with my guys with the Rise NIL. So we made it to knock that out. But what are your thoughts in terms of what you've seen and what you know with the NIL going to the next level to college?
NIL is both a blessing and a curse. I feel like it's great that kids can make money, but I feel like sometimes money can alter people's decisions and make them make some decisions that they will regret later.
Okay. And so have you kind of followed the story up with Dartmouth University, where the kids, the basketball team has tried to become the first college in the United States to have a union in terms of playing basketball? They've already said where they go to school, that's pretty much the job, or the opportunity to go to school is what they're there for, but the basketball becomes a job. Have you heard about that story?
No, sir.
Yeah, so Dartmouth is trying to become the first college men's basketball program to say basically they work for the university, and that's physically a job, so their pay scale should be different. There's no school in the country that's done that yet. Obviously, you guys are right there in the back door of the University of Tennessee, and a few weeks ago, they just won an injunction against the NCAA on the NIL for football, which has changed the landscape of that. So the opportunity for you at the next level is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Clarence, have you kind of seen or kind of heard, because you guys are been on the rodeo show the last few weeks, going into some college visits, correct?
Yeah, we have, man. We went on a unofficial visit to the University of Houston. We got a couple of other prospects out there. We like SMU, of course. We like the University of Tennessee. I like Coach Barnes and what he's doing. We like Coach Sampson. We like Coach Rob Lanier. Man, we got a few things that are out there cooking. But like I tell my son all the time, we're not focused on that right now. We're focused on the task at hand. Let's get better. Let's get stronger. Let's continue to grow spiritually. And when it comes to like the NIL stuff, I'm not worrying about that right now. That's kind of the last thing on our mind. I don't want my son thinking about NIL deal, because he got successful parents, and so right. we don't have to depend on anything like that for him to even have to worry about if an NIL deal comes to the table. We're going to make sure that it's beneficial for him, not just for 1 year, but for his future.
Right.
We're not looking for any short-term stuff, man. We're looking for, this is my son's career and his future, and I'm gonna make sure that don't get tainted. We're gonna make sure that that's right, that's correct, and it's God-led.
Man, that's absolutely beautiful. And Cam, you that guy, me and Dad both have been down that road on that recruiting piece and going out to the university campus and all that. You had a wonderful opportunity, my man. You out there at Houston doing a Kansas game, baby. How did that feel?
It felt good. The energy in there was crazy. Houston, their arena only seats like 7,000 people. So not only it's just loud in there, it's packed. The energy is crazy, but it was just an experience I'll never forget. And
Houston blew them boys away, blew the doors out. I don't think Coach Bill Self was ready for that one, was he, Clarence?
I don't think so neither, man. I think Houston came out, hit him in the mouth right off the top, and it was just tough. They're just a tough defensive team, and that's kind of one of the things that kind of caught Cam's attention too, because they play, Webb plays similar to them, not they play similar to Webb. Webb plays similar to them. They kind of grindy.
Sure.
Coach Morris does a good job of holding kids accountable. He's very structured, the same as Coach Sampson. He likes to defend, and that's the way Cam. Cam loves to play defense, man. So yeah, I can't wait to see how this future pans out.
Man, that's awesome. And Cam, right now, as you're finishing up and getting, of course, into spring ball, and like you said, the EYBL is coming up. Of course, I'm gonna push you every chance I get the opportunity. What are some of your awards and some of the accomplishments that you kind of want to brag on yourself about? Because the one thing I can tell you that I'm absolutely proud of you, my man. And then when I say proud, I'm telling my proud. You carry a 3.9 GPA, at a private school that's high academic. So that tells me that you're not focused on doing a lot of this off the wall stuff that kind of, as me and Dad talks about sometimes, guys that decide, I'm playing ball. Yeah, you playing ball, but you're not focused. You are so focused, man, and your academics show it. Besides having that regimen, how do you balance being an athlete, right? Being a student athlete, and then just time with your friends, man? How do you do all that?
So I feel like working with your friends can help you be a better academic student. Now, you can draw your friends, you can you can show your friends the value of being a student athlete, not an athlete student. Now, what really helps me is communicating with my teachers, because I'm always traveling. So you just got to communicate with your teachers, hoping they'll understand what you're going through and they'll work with you on that. But before anything, like before I go work out or before any of that, I need to get my homework done so I don't have to worry about that. That's why I try to get all my stuff done during the day so I can chase my dreams after and before school, the night before. And then after being a student, part of being a student is getting proper rest every night. So I got to make sure I'm getting at least 8 hours every night so I can be my best on the court and in the classroom. So I'm not dozing off in the middle of class. So.
Man, it don't matter where we're going to put you, baby. You're going to be all right. I can tell you that because Kendrick Malone said, great job, Cam and Clarence. And by the way, they said Memphis is proud of you, baby. So, you got some pumping your brakes out there that's going on. And the other thing is, Cam, looking at it, and I know that we're just now getting into this, and you got, the next few years of getting your recruiting thing that's going to be rocking and rolling and whatnot. And I know I'm never going to put you on that spot. But if you're looking at a program at the next level that, as Dad just mentioned a moment ago, that kind of suit the way you guys play, whether that Webb or your style, what kind of style of basketball are you looking at, the type of program? Up tempo, high transition, really tough defensively? What kind of style fits the way you play ball that you would love to maybe take a serious look at?
I like teams that are a defensive first team, because what does your offense mean if you can't play defense? Now,
there you go.
I like a team that plays fast, plays tough. see, teams are supposed to be like this. Teams are supposed to have that chemistry. So, you know, you got to be able to play with teammates that you can bond with. And I'm looking for just a good program that will just play to the style that we can, you know, the best as we can.
That's great. Well, listen, man, I'm glad that you took, man, a little time to come in here and talk to us right now on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your guy, the one and only Coach Tony. Make sure you like us, you share us, and more importantly, subscribe to the show. We're going to go into halftime. We're going to pay a few bills. We're going to let Cam get back to homework, and me and Dad are going to come back. We'll be back in a moment. Val, let's go to halftime.
Tony, what would you like to ask Terrence?
Listening to that trailer, man, it was so cool. When you got a chance to get involved, what were your past experiences?
I haven't necessarily done narration and voiceover, but I am a songwriter and performer. I've done that for a while. And with this project, one, I'm not seasoned enough to know what high 8 tapes are. So I'm just pulling off my experiences with elder people in my life and their stories and try to connect that bridge. So I just tried to do that the best that I could. And I'm happy with how it came about. I'm excited for people to start seeing it and seeing how over these many years it's come full circle, as John said.
Terrence hits on a great point. The spirit of the film is based on the spirit of the music and the times of the 90s. That was important that came across because that was a different frequency of music, you know, back then. Well, it was an exciting, challenging time where you felt the birth of a new musical movement was happening.
Ultimately, we actually shot in 13 different locations and had a cast of over 60 people. And then we had this tape, this project that was still in search of an ending. And for 30 years, I've lied and carried this on my resume as a film that I completed, but nobody ever asked me for it. But I'm just grateful for the fact that, I'm grateful for the fact that Wendell found these and just wrote such a brilliant narration that really pulled everything together and brought it to some peace after all these years of this unfinished project.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show. It's your guy, the one and only Coach Tony. Tonight, man, brother Clarence, man, I'm so pumped up. I don't know what to do, man. It's just you don't get an opportunity to get a young man, to just come through your fingers. I don't care if you take him down to the lowest D1 or the lowest whatever. He's going to show well through all of that. And I know you got to be just, you and Mom especially proud. But let's just get into some bloodline so kind of show the people for that. You a UT Vols guy yourself back in the day with me, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. I came to UT, man, from Connors College, Connors State College in 1985 and 1987, and then was recruited by Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and Providence. Those were my four finalists, and I chose to come back home, man. I wanted my parents to be able to see me play, and so I chose the University of Tennessee from 1987, 1989. Man, great experience there, man. I had a lot of fun there, and well coached there too, man. Oh, now
who was the coach? Was Coach Houston there at that time?
Don DeVoe was my coach.
Oh, there you go.
He came out that tree with Krzyzewski, Bob Knight. And, those boys was at I want to say Army. Yeah, they were at Army.
Yeah, Army. Yep.
Yeah.
Bobby Knight boys.
Bobby Knight boys, man. Yeah, man. Well, you know what kind of coach I had, right?
I already know, man. I already know. And that's just great, man, because, I can just hear it in Cam, as he speaks, man, and talks about it. And I'm glad, man, that, more important thing, man, you make sure that led with God first and keep God in everything you do. You know, if he's going to be healthy, God's going to make sure he stays healthy. And I'm just glad he chose the opportunity to go in a direction that's led him into various doors being open that may not have been open if he'd stayed on the football side of the house, because he could have had an injury-prone career. So that is absolutely phenomenal. I tell kids all the time, Clarence, when you get to your sophomore year in high school, as you go into your junior year, if there is a sport, whether it be basketball, football, baseball, track and field, whatever it may be, whoever is the sport that's recruiting you the most and doing the most for you, then you probably need to either let the other one go. There's no need to be good at a lot of things. Let's be great at one thing and put your wholehearted attention to that. And if you do that and keep God first, you'll open up those doors, man. And that's what's been going on with Cam, man. And that's been absolutely wonderful. And
oh yeah, man. Yeah, we chose basketball because I just felt like that was he was a pretty good football player, man. He could have been good. He was one hell of a wide receiver, man. He's long, lanky,
right.
Had great hands. But I just think that the physicality of the game nowadays are just, it's not worth it, man. Basketball is tough enough. And then I think he had a better chance, especially as he grew. He went from 5'11" to 6'2" over one summer, and now he's 6'4.5", almost 6'5", and so basketball is definitely the sport that I'm glad he chose as well.
Man, and you see that with a lot of kids. I hear so much. I love Tennessee this year basketball. You probably won't hear me say that a lot. I'm a Big Ten guy, but I see that, and I'm looking at, Ryan Connect and what he's doing with the balls this year, coming out of SIU, coming out of the JUCO route. The question that I want to ask you, and I'm glad you mentioned a moment ago, I think sometimes, Clarence, we kind of get removed as a young kid as we're trying to teach these young athletes about going to the JUCO route. But with the NIL and the portal on the table, I am struggling to get a lot of my guys looks and all that. So what is your comments about having to go through the JUCO route to get that opportunity?
Well, now you got to graduate from junior college in order to even. It started back when I think when I was there in 1987. You had to graduate. You had to get your associate degree in order for you to go to a 4-year college. I don't have a problem with junior college if you need that development. But the thing about the portal is the portal has kind of damaged a lot of the game. It has damaged some of the young. It's kind of difficult for a good freshman to get a look at a Division I school just because they say, what, coaches have so much pressure now on them to win, and so now they're looking now into the portal for a junior or a sophomore or a senior who could give them a little bit more experience because jobs are on the line now.
Right.
So coaches are thinking like, hey man, I need this freshman because I'm not gonna be able to win with this freshman my first year, so I need to go into the portal and get. And so it's hurting a lot of the freshmen. It's hurting a lot of kids who are really good and actually deserve to be on a Division I team, but it actually hurts them. And so one of the things that I tell my son all the time, I say, you know what, the portal is also good too, because what you should be thinking now is I am going to go out and outwork everybody. It doesn't matter to me if they're a junior or a sophomore. All right, the coach is going to put the best player on the team, and I tell my son all the time, it doesn't matter because you're a freshman. Coach Sampson told him when we were at the visit, he said, it's hard for me to play my freshman. But he said, but I'm not going to sit down and say I'm not going to play a freshman if he come in here and do what he needs to do.
Exactly.
So that's Cam know now to say, you know what? It's all about that work. It's all about putting that work in. Don't let anybody outwork you. Don't let anybody get in the gym before you. Don't let anybody stay in the gym longer than you. And so me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. And our family is only as good as the mama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how we roll. Because I gotta give my mama. Gotta give mama.
Gotta give Rhonda.
Because mama makes it all happen, man. And so,
exactly. And Joe just said that. Joe Lancaster just said, man.
Joe just said.
Yeah, Joe just said it. Hey, man, y'all do good, but Rhonda, keep the Swearengen boys, keep them in line. And you know, I love Rhonda, you know, because she's a Big Ten girl too, out of Michigan. So you know what I'm saying? She was loving the Wolverine.
We ain't said nothing about Mama, but Mama the glue, man. Mama keep us. She keep us all together. And I keep Cam off of her. She keep him off me. So we work together as a team, man. One of our things, we hashtag Team Swearengen, man. So we don't do it. We don't do it by ourselves, man. We all try to, you know, figure it out. There's no manual to, you know, trying to be best parents that we can be, you know. And so we just out here trying to work together.
Man, that's all. And then I want to give a big shout out to Blank Dog, man. I appreciate you. I've been trying to get you on my podcast for a minute, Blank Dog. So I'm glad you slid into the room tonight, baby. We're on the Pull Up Podcast show, one of the hottest sports shows to hit the air this year. We're growing by leaps and bounds. Tonight we had a young man on air with us, Cam Swearengen, out of Webb High School. This is Dad talking to us right now. Make sure that you like us, you share us, and more importantly, subscribe to the show. Now, I'm going to get into some deep conversation with you now, Clarence, just in terms of, you know, being proud of the guys. And now we, you know, it's always, we say the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we already seen the good and the bad. What's been the most telling thing that you and Mom may have had to kind of keep Cam away from, or better question would be, what are some of the obstacles that you had to make sure that we avoid here and avoid there, just to make sure we're keeping on our right, correct path?
Yeah, man, it's like us, man. So we're very particular about who we deal with, who we hang with. All right, so we don't hang with people who are not doing the right things, man. We don't hang with people who don't love the Lord. We don't hang with people who, you know, want to go out and they want to party all night and they want to go to the club and they want to do that. No, we don't do that. We keep our son away from kids who don't care nothing about God. I mean, they you know, if you don't care about God, we don't even want to be associated with you anyway. So yeah, that's how we pretty much roll. But yeah, just keeping yourself around, you know, good people, man. Iron sharpens iron, man. So I believe that, you know, when you're around people who stretch you, who push you, who you know, hold you accountable, those are the kind of people who we like to be around. We like to be around success, man, because, you know, I feel like my wife and I have been very successful. We worked hard for everything we got. And we're not like my partner Joe. You know, I got my little brother Joe who's been coming. We're not like my little brother Joe. He just hold on to everything, man. At least I go out and I spend a little bit of it, man. Joe holds on to it, man. He won't let it go. But I tell him, I said, that's how the rich do, man.
Hey, that's how they do. Hey, Joe gonna let a little bit. Joe gonna let a little bit out here, a little bit out there, you know.
Yeah. We like to keep ourselves around good people, man. That's pretty much what it's all about.
That's a blessing.
Around good people too, man.
And the only thing that you know what I'm gonna tell you got to do, though. You know, we got to get Camels on them golf clubs in his hands, baby, so we can get him out there on them links with us, man. You know?
Yeah, that dude do not want to play no golf, man. I've been trying to get him. I was like, he drove the cart for me, I guess, about a week or two. Might have been about a month ago. I let him drive the cart out there, but he don't care about no golf, man.
Yeah, that's like my son. My son driving the car too. They learn how to drive, man.
So this is what he told me today. He was like, Daddy, ask Coach Tony, man, can I just do the first 30 minutes? Because I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym. And I gotta get my 8 hours of sleep. This dude is big. He big on 8 hours of sleep. Now he real with that. Like, I got homework to do, Daddy. Ask him, can you just give me 30 minutes? Because I gotta go to bed.
Hey man, and the realest part of that is, you know, I appreciate it because most guys are gonna try to do it. You know, of course, you know, this is gonna be, like I told Cam earlier, this become a beautiful interview. Part of it, you know, the one thing I want to tell you, I was very, very, very proud of him about is the entire resume. I talked to a lot of guys about that, you know, and I know Mom and you probably had to put that together once we start going on the recruiting thing. But a lot of you guys is out there listening. If you're an athlete, you're trying to get out there. And Clarence, you hit it on the nose. The way that these guys recruit now is not like you and I came up. Back in the day, I tell guys, we had to physically write a letter, right? We had to physically get on the telephone and make a phone call. We had to wait several weeks to get a call back to see if a school was interested based on X, Y, or Z. Now, you put something out and push a button, I can reach all 350 Division I schools in the click of a button like that. Depending on if they come back to you or not. So that's been the biggest key to all that. So it's just wonderful to see how you guys got Cam very structured. And I don't hear many kids talking about, hey, man, I need to go get that 8 hours of sleep, man. So that's a blessing.
Oh, yeah, man. This dude right here, man, he's in the bed because he pops up, 2-3 days out the week, man. He's in the gym, shooting 400-500 shots, man. He do it in the morning before school, go take a shower, go to class, leave class. He right back in the gym. He's working at Triple F, working on his body, working on, protein, working on stretching, working on, just the mindset, man. And that's one of the things that we're working on right now, just making sure we get the mental approach correct, man. And so, and that comes through just hard work, and just tough workouts every day. We're trying to put it in. And that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that he decided to go to Mocan. And I'm glad Mocan is part of our family now, man. We're really excited about the opportunity to play on the Nike EYBL circuit this summer.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, we were talking to my frat brother, the one on Kappa Alpha Psi Phi Nu Pi, one of them brothers from the diamond. We throw them yos up like that in the sky all the time. Hey, we're going to take our last break of the night. Val going into the fourth quarter. We're going to be right back to the show. Val, let's pay our last bill of the night. We'll be right back.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. Key Spot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. Key Spot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show, which you gather one and only hostess for the mostest. Coach Tony, got my guy right here, Clarence and Cameron Swearengen from Knoxville, Tennessee. By the way, Clarence, tell Cam that his boy Brandon Booker said, what's up? Hope we have a great summer. April, what's up, my girl? Glad you checked in tonight. By the way, Clarence, you got to get back on the show too, man. April's nephew is one of the pro cats that we're gonna get on here. I ain't even gonna get a name up right now because when we drop it, we're gonna make sure everybody come on and check that show out that night, man.
Oh man, you didn't have to throw the picture of me and Dale up there, man. Look at that.
Man. Had to get you and Dale up there, man.
Pounds right there, me and Dale Ellis, man. That's my guy, man.
Dale, hey, people don't realize there's a Tennessee boy, man. It's gonna be him, Allen Houston. Yeah, those all boys back in the day, man.
Them all my boys, man. Yeah, man. Frat brothers too. Yeah, Allen. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Hey, they don't know how them Cowboys do it, man. I keep telling them they better watch out, man. We always coming, man. We always keeping it smooth.
To the day I die, yo, baby, I see you.
Hey, man. Hey, so let's get into this. Let's get into this March Madness. I'm gonna start from Yo Back Dope, where we at right there in East Tennessee. So we're talking about, getting into the March Madness. We're talking about who looks what, who looks where. I'm gonna ask it in 3 different parts here. The number 1 seed in the bracket with Tennessee is none other than my boys from the Big Ten, which is Purdue. And my biggest threat in that bracket is none other than Creighton. Creighton Blue Jays, I think, is going to be a tremendous, tremendous threat in that bracket. And if Tennessee and Ryan Connect and the boys can play and get back to Coach Barnes' ways of playing basketball, I would love to see a rematch from the Maui Classics, which was back in early season, as everybody was watching going into Thanksgiving time frame when the Maui Classics was around. So what do you think about your Volunteers and how deep do you think they can go in the tournament this year?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony, man, I really like what Coach Barnes has done as a whole. My only concern with Tennessee at the moment now is who's going to be that second and that third scorer. So can we get Vescovy? Can we get Josiah James? Can we get, those two guys consistent? Can we get, Adu playing a little bit tougher, defensively? He's doing a great job. He's just light. I mean, when we played against Mississippi State, we saw that, when they got the ball down in the paint, man, they was just too light down, and we wasn't strong enough. But I think the key to our team this year is that we got to give Vescovy, and we got to get Josiah James, and we got to get some more perimeter scores, because if you notice the last game when we played, they denied the ball. They stretched the floor. They took
Vescovy wasn't making shots
off the line, and they made them work hard for those. They ran them off the line and made them have some tough shots, man. And they played with a lot of length. They had a guy that was just as tall as him, that was kind of mobile a little bit, and made them work a little bit harder. And when you got teams like that, man, they're tough to beat. So we got to get some consistency from other players besides Connect and Zakiah. And man, if we can get two players, just two of those, James or Vescovy, to step up and get some buckets for us, I think we have a chance to go further in the tournament. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Vescovy has probably been, to me, the biggest disappointment, only because he's coming off of solid year before Connect got there. He was the man knocking the threes down, knocking the jumpers down, doing the things. I think James settles for too many threes every now and then instead of playing in the gaps and attacking the baskets and all that. So I think if Vescovy could step up, knock a few more threes down, make Connect's life a little easier, because like I said, as you get run off that line and then that doubling up Connect, that makes it hard for him to score. And speaking of run off the line, man, this is crazy. This is what you call 10 degrees of separation. Yo, Ken folks, which is my boy, my homeboy, Mario Malone. That's my boy. That's right. That's him. Oh man, I ain't gonna get it out.
You just tell me that y'all play golf together. Like, yeah,
oh, man, me and Mario be on that course all the time together, baby. That's my boy, man. If I had to call somebody to do something, he definitely on the quick speed dial.
Oh man, yeah, him and K Malone, man. You know what I'm saying? Them my folks, man. We first cousins. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's mama's sisters.
Yeah. Hey, that little bro, I would tell him all the time, when I first moved from the Chi, between Mario, him, Torres, all my homeboys on their yard, and they the gamma, man. Trust me, man. They gave me the work, so here I got to know them very well.
Yeah, man. That's fam, man. That's fam right there, man. Much love, baby. No doubt.
Yeah, that's good. Now look at in the South Division. So let's go to where you just came from in Houston. So I love these Cougars. They got destroyed against Iowa State in that championship game. And I think that the biggest threat, I'm thinking, is Coach K's nephew, who's head coaching up at James Madison. A lot of people don't realize these guys are 30-4 coming into the tournament. They're going to be tough. And also my homeboy I play ball with, his son, and the guys Cam Jones and the homeboys up at Marquette. Marquette ain't going to be nothing to sleep with as well, man. What do you think about that South region?
Man, I tell you what, man. Marquette, I just like the way they play. They tough, man. I mean,
that's that Shaka Smart.
Yeah, Shaka Smart has always done a good job. He did a good job at Texas, did a good job, wherever he's been, man. He get kids to play at a level, and he brings out the best in you. But going back to that Houston and that Iowa State game, Houston is probably one of the best teams defensively in the country. There's no doubt that they're the best defensive team. But when you play against a team that can make shots, it doesn't really, I mean, that's what happened the other night. I mean, Iowa, that freshman came in and he made shots. He stretched them. He made them get out there. I mean, he took some really tough shots. And then Snead didn't have his best game. We had a big that got hurt. I forgot his name, but the big left-handed guy got hurt there in the second half there. And then Houston is down. They've lost three. They lost three players. It's tough to advance deep into the tournament, man, with 7 to 8 players, man. Yep. You gotta have 10. You gotta have 10 or 11 in order to be effective, man. In order to win it, man. You can look at teams like UConn. UConn, they playing 9, 10 they playing 10 players, bro. And this, so when one get tired, they bringing another one in. And I mean, so
right.
the deeper your bench, you look at Auburn, the deeper your bench. Look at Kentucky. The deeper your bench, the toughest beat. Even Tennessee. Tennessee plays 9-10 players.
9-10 players. Yeah.
You got to play. You cannot win a championship with 7 or 8 players. Never seen it happen before.
But I tell you what, if you're going to lose, Kevin Sampson lost at the right time, because I guarantee you he'll have them ready to play in this tournament. And then
that loss wasn't that loss didn't mean nothing. Man, hey, they had already won it. They already won the Big 12, right?
I won the Big 12, and that's coming from a small. That's before even joining the conference, and nobody even thought they was even going to do that. So I pumped the brakes on that. Now looking at down in the West. Now, I think this is, to me, the easiest bracket. And I don't mean the easiest, but I think this is the one bracket that I got, North Carolina, the 1 seed down there. The biggest threat to me is going to be Tom Izzo and Michigan State. I know that they didn't have a good year, but still Tom put up 19 wins and 11 losses. But, he's always tournament ready. And it's the Big Ten. So, he still gets 19 wins and only finished in the 4th spot in the Big Ten. He'll be ready to play. And the other team down there that Carolina's going to have to deal with is Baylor. They got 5 kids averaging double figures right now. Yeah. What do you think about that West region?
Hey, I think that West region is going to be tough too. I mean, of course, you can't never say enough about Izzo and his program, man. And I tell people all the time, well, they only won 19 games, but man, do he have those kids ready in the tournament, man? Those kids play a little bit different basketball when it gets down to tournament time. And of course, North Carolina, you can't. They got a great guard, you know what I'm saying? So they got a guard there who can take over a game and get you 40 and just change the whole dynamics of a game, So in too many teams, and of course Baylor is another tough team, man. Well coached, man. He's going to be sought after too. I guarantee you that coach won't be at Baylor long.
Drew have him ready.
I think Drew going to end up getting one of these jobs right here. I don't know if it's going to be the Michigan job. I don't know where it's going to be, but I think his name is going to be called somewhere. Somebody's going to offer him a big bag to come.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to shout out to my boy, because I got a guy from Chicago, baby, way out in the burbs, my guy Dennis, who is a PG down at Baylor. So I'm going to shout you out right now. And when this tournament over, I'm calling you, boys, so you can jump on this, tell everybody what it's like doing this. And then we're going to say the best for last, going to this East region, UConn. The big question everybody's been talking about is, can Hurley get him as a back-to-back for the first time since my boy Billy Donovan did it back in 07, 08? And I'm thinking the answer to that is no. Here's the reason why. First of all, my boys is up in that joint, right? The Illini, first of all. And I went to school with my boys, shout out Morgan Park, Shannon Jr., lit him up in the Big Ten tournament, did his thing. And then you got Iowa State and Auburn in the same region. So as you just talked about with Bruce Pearl playing defense and Iowa State playing the way they are in Illinois, you got UConn, Auburn, Iowa State, and Illinois in one region in the East. I don't think they did UConn any justice winning the national tournament last year. They should have been in the West. And UNC should have been in this bracket. What you think about that?
Man, thank you, man. I'm telling you, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's probably one of the toughest brackets right there. I love that Iowa State team, man. Well coached. Those boys play together. They're very unselfish. And then you can't never sleep on the champions, man. So I can't sit here and say that UConn won't have a chance to win that thing, because they've already proven that they can.
Sure.
They're number one seeded team, and so tough team. They play well together. They shoot the ball well. They play great team basketball. I love UConn. I love what they do, and they grind on defense, man. They don't give you nothing, man, and that's another thing. But then you can't sleep on Illinois, man. Illinois is
Brad Underwood got them playing great right now.
I really like that team, man. They got it at all levels. They good inside, they good outside, and they got the what's the lefty name? You just mentioned his name.
That's Shannon Jr., baby. That's all I'm talking about.
Shannon Jr. He was real the other night, man. He kept him.
Put 40 on
Wisconsin, and Wisconsin didn't know what to do with that team, man. They they struggled a little bit, made a turnover there at the end.
Yep.
And that caused the game, take the game to another level, man. But yeah, man, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough bracket, man. I can't wait to see. I'm so excited about the March Madness, man. I can't wait to
Hey,
check
it's
things
the
out.
number
I'm ready
one
on the
most.
play-in games.
Hey,
Check
the
that
number
Boise.
one
Hey, now
most
check out. I'll
played.
tell you what. Check this out, T. That San Diego State in that UAB game.
Oh yeah,
be
yeah.
ready for it.
That's my boy Kennedy. That's my boy Kennedy down there coaching that UAB.
Coming at him,
Oh,
baby.
yeah. So here's a tough question before we get out of here. I need to know from you. Give me my Final Four and give me my championship game. What you looking at? Who you got coming out the East?
Oh man. So I'm thinking UConn. Give me UConn, Houston, Purdue, and Kentucky.
Okay.
Can I
so
say that? And
who
then
you got in the national championship game?
I got UConn and Houston in the championship, and I got Houston taking it.
Okay. So you close to me. So I got, believe it or not, America, I got to tell y'all, for promotional purposes only, I got to make sure I say the statement for promotional purposes only. If you're playing your FanDuel, two things I'm gonna tell you before I give you my picks. One, make sure that you lay 25 across on the 12-5 games, because that's gonna pay out great. And then make sure you lay another 25 across on the 15-1 or the 15-2 or the 116 game, because that's gonna be real good too. But anyway, having said that, I'm taking an upset in the East. I got to go with my Atlanta. I think they are playing great. I think Brad Underwood's got them 12-game winning streak. The last loss they had was to Purdue. I think they're going to be tough. I think that by the time UConn get through Auburn up top, if we can get through Iowa State on the bottom, I think Illini wins that and move on to the Final Four. I think on the West region, I like Carolina. I think that Davis is tough at the PG. I don't think I think that Hubert Davis finally gets a team that gets to the Final Four. They're playing great with Baycott in the middle. He's got to prove his worth. Plus, he's trying to go to the league next year. So if he don't prove it right now, he's going to Europe. I can tell him right now. And then I love your choice. I'm a big-time Houston guy. I love what Kevin Sampson's doing. Been knowing my guy since University of Indiana. And I like what he's got. They're probably the best defensive team in the entire NCAA tournament. And then go down to my Midwest region. If Purdue don't get it done, Matt Painter's probably gone. So he's got to be Final Four championship or done. So I'm going to take the Illini in a 3 seed. I'm going to take Carolina in a 1 seed, Houston in a 1, Purdue in a 1, and Illinois be the only one. I'm going to take my Illini upsetting Carolina, going to the national championship game. And as much as I like Purdue, I think the buck stop, I think Kevin Sampson redeems himself. I got Illini versus Houston, Houston winning it all. So, hey, I want to tell everybody, man, this has been one of the most fabulous shows I've had for the years. My homeboy from another mother, man, 5 New Pie, baby, throw them yo's up. You know how we do. And, I appreciate you, Clarence, and your son, Cam, man. We're gonna be stayed to the hip anyway, and everything I can do to help, we're going to do it, man. But I appreciate you coming on to the Pull Up Podcast show. Man, it's been absolutely wonderful. Make sure next week you join us on the show next week. And Clarence, make sure you check in. We're going to check in with the HBCU. We're going out to talk to the Associate Athletic Director and Director of Compliance, Miss Dion McCullum, who runs the Claflin University, program out there. And I can't wait to talk to her. And they're in the CIAA. So they're in the CIAA out there. If you ever been to the CIAA tournament, Claire, them. That's like damn near going to food.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
So, hey, I want to appreciate you. Thank everybody for tuning in. Again, thanks for tuning in to the Pull Up Podcast show. This is your guy, the one and only Coach Tony. Hey, we're going to see you next week. Peace.
Yo.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show.